What's going on, man?
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
Everything is cool, man.
I'm gonna just go off rip. I gotta be honest with you.
What's that?
I'm preparing for this conversation. I'm going through your discography, and getting familiar with you as a creative. And I get to the song "Heart Shape," right?
Yeah.
And you have an ad lib in there that says, "These niggas don't even know my name. They running around and they saying Prada. I'm niggas." I am niggas, right? Yeah. So I panicked a little bit. I really didn't come across a record that said your name. I know it now, but for the people out there, can you pronounce it phonetically?
Yes. My name is Proda.
Yeah.
Proda.
Proda. We got it.
Like prototype or protege or
yeah. Okay. I think we're friends now.
Yeah. We cool.
Good man. All right, we got the pleasure of talking to the multi-talented, a man of many trades, a brother that's creativity just oozes in many different areas, none other than Jersey's very own Proda.
What's up?
Can we give it up a little bit? Can we get let's live in this show?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so before I get started, on behalf of myself, everybody that is here, put this together, we want to say thank you. Wow. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. If you're here, we genuinely rock with you, and we thank you for rocking with us.
Word. Yeah, no, I appreciate the platform, man. I got the call. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, thank you for answering the call.
Word.
All right, so we getting right into it. Producer, artist, engineer, designer, dope-ass performer.
Appreciate it.
All around creative, you wear a lot of hats, bro.
Yeah.
How do you balance that? How do you balance all of your efforts?
I don't say no. Nah, man. So I always been like a creative person from an early age, and just getting bored quick, kind of helps me jump around and move to other things and just have opportunities to try new things. So I mean, balancing it all, man, it take a lot. It take God, you feel me? It take my family. It take me, just being focused. And I really try to live by a thing of if I start something, I'm gonna finish it. So, I be having projects here and there, but the main thing I like to do is finish everything that I start. You know what I mean? I'm big on that. So, as much as I jump around from this project and I had this going on, everything is getting completed.
Word. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I want to ask you, you think you got creative ADHD?
A little bit. I mean, we here on set, y'all been hearing me sing random songs just popping in my head as it goes. So yeah, definitely creative ADHD. It's a blessing and a curse because sometimes it could be overwhelming, right? Damn, I want to get all these ideas out, but that's when prioritizing and just overall awareness comes into play, because now you gotta all right, what makes the most sense for right now? You know what I'm saying? And thank God we got technology, because anytime I get a little idea, I could just pull out my phone and record a memo or something like that, or sketch a little thing like that, sketch a little storyboard for a video idea or whatever. But yeah, I would say I have a little create. No, you know what it is?
What's that?
I just found this word out. It's this not phrase, but this, I guess it's a thing, but it's called neurodivergent.
Okay.
Neurodivergent. Okay. I don't know if you ever heard
that's
of it.
TikTok.
So I got
that's TikTok.
Yeah, that's some TikTok shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I got creative neurodivergence.
Okay.
We gonna say that.
That sounds a lot better than ADHD, right?
Right.
Word. Sometimes I think we add so many things to our toolbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you end up with a bunch of dull swords. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
But I don't really hear that when it comes to your music. There's a consistency that speaks through, and you can tell there's hours invested in your craft. So yeah. I applaud that. I'm a fan of that.
Thank you. Yeah.
But with so many ways to approach music, is there ever a law in creativity? Is there ever like a down? Do you ever experience
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I mean, like, so I feel that mostly like when I'm recording myself, like in terms of just like engineering and trying to make music at the same time, that could be a little bit challenging sometimes, especially if I'm like in a new studio or something like that, and I'm like out of town and I just get a studio to just try to vibe or whatever. Like being an engineer, trying to figure out the technical stuff while you're trying to be creative, kind of like makes that process of getting your ideas out a little bit harder, because it's now like, damn, why is this sound not loading, or this plugin is taking too long to load. And so that's why when I try to like incorporate, modes of efficiency in my working. So yeah, to answer your question, that's the biggest part of the biggest lull of being a multifaceted artist, where I'm engineering and recording myself and
Right.
pressing the space bar, running to the booth to try to get in the booth and cut the record, cut a take, and then say I mess up or something, then I gotta run out to the computer back again and press the space bar. So
It's almost like you, with engineering and the creative side of it, it's almost like two different sides of your brain having to work at once.
Yeah,
and I
for
can
real.
see how that could get like, I don't know, a little hectic. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
it
you
is.
gotta turn one off to turn one on and get back in your creative bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get that.
That's the toughest part. I mean, but we as self-sufficient artists, like I know I'm not the only one alone with that, because a lot of artists today are recording themselves in their bedroom, whatever. Like, so, and we applaud those people. Like, we get it done. But the best thing to do in order to limit like the to limit the disruptance from when you're trying to create is just knowing your voice, knowing your sound, and like having your presets on point and having your template, so you just plug and play.
Okay. So being somebody who wears like a lot of hats, like that's beneficial because you kind of can do everything yourself, right? But also for some people, when you have that many options, like you can kind of get to a place like, where do you even start?
Yeah, nah, facts.
Have you ever experienced like that? Maybe in the beginning when you were like, branching out and doing other areas of the creative process?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that now sometimes too. Is like sometimes it's like, where do I start? Because is I feel like the reason why I wear so many hats is because I had to. You feel what I'm saying? Like I started making music at a young age and just playing around and being blessed with like parents who was into music and in a creative environment. So we had some of the tools around us, but I had to be an engineer if I wanted to learn how to record myself. I had to be an engineer if I wanted to know how to make beats. Like I had to make beats so I could have something to sing and rap over. You know what I'm saying? So that I guess that self-sufficiency and that having all those tools came from out of necessity and like an ingenuity type of thing. Like I needed some beats, and like beats on YouTube is not really what I wanted to rock with. I wanted my own sound and stuff. So
I was just about to ask you, did you ever go down that YouTube type beat type of?
Yeah, I do that. I do that still sometimes, like just for inspiration. Like I'm a producer. I make my own beats, but sometimes I like rapping on other people's beats. Like a lot of my collaborations be with other producers that I'm a producer too. So of course I'm gonna hear things and add my sauce to it. So which then I've now produced the record too. But you know what I mean? Like I love working with other artists and other producers that got sounds that's vibing with me. Like you know what I'm saying? That's in alignment with what I'm doing.
I always thought that like the YouTube type beat was like a slippery slope,
Yeah.
Because like you're kind of going into the creative process with another artist in mind.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of dangerous starting with that, when especially if you haven't found your voice yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did you run into that? Is that one of the motivations that you were like, all right, I gotta have more control over the creative process?
You know, I never really think of it from a control aspect. Like, it's just, for me, the biggest thing in music is to just be. Like, because that's when you could just, you know, embody your own essence. Like, it's easy for outsiders to hear you and be like, oh, you sound like da 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 da. You sound like this and that person. I have people who say I sound like people that I don't even listen to their music. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as an artist you do a disservice when you try to not be like something, or you try to not you know, follow, you know, what feels right to you. Like, if you a fan of this artist and you like they type of beats, go ahead and listen to they type of beats, and you feel me, that's how you learn how to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in trying not to be something, you know, I feel like you kind of disrupt your flow a little bit, you know. And I think rather than trying not to be something, you gotta focus on what you want to be. Like, focus on what you want to sound like. So, or you know, and it might not necessarily. You could say I don't want to sound like nobody that's out, and that's great. Like, that's good. That's good to feel like that. But also, you know, if you are a musician, more than likely you're a fan of music. So who are you a fan of, and what can you take from those people that can add to your sauce and add to your style? You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, nothing, like you said, nothing is original. You feel me? Everything is, everything that's been said already has been said. It's just how you say it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
And I find it interesting because even in a person's effort of trying not to be something like that, you're still giving that power to what you're trying not to be.
Yeah, exactly. And from like on some universal like law of attraction type mind state, like the thoughts is things. So it's like if you say I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, it's gonna happen. What you gotta focus on saying is, this is what I want. I want to do this. I want to do this. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you want, and it'll be.
The universe don't pick up on content.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Context.
Context,
rather.
Yeah,
that definitely makes sense. So I like to get into like your creative process, but first I want you to rank these three things.
Alright.
From least important, most important to least important. Alright. The idea, the talent, and the execution.
From most important to least important.
Yeah, like during the creative process, you got an idea, you have the talent to, like, say, if you can sing, you can rap, but then do you have the execution? I think talent and execution are two different things.
Yeah, that's tough because I think ultimately the top thing for me is the idea, because like that idea is what. That's the motion in the brain, and the motion in, you know, the vibration that's saying like this thing that you're trying to create. Like, what is it? Like, that's the spark. You feel me? I think the execution is second, and I think talent is last. Honestly, because the execution is for real. It's about vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like music. Like I like to make music that you could vibe to. That's not just purely like, lyrical miracle, spiritual, lyrical there. I don't. You feel me? I ain't on that type of time. Like, you know, I'm in a space of like creating a moment and creating a energy. So I think the execution is second to the idea, because like you could do some avant-garde shit and it be fire, and it's like, damn, like who knew like screaming on a track like in this way made somebody feel like that, you know what I mean? So, you know, that talent and that technical stuff, you know, that's kind of like a little, I think that might be an afterthought, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, it's good to have. Not saying you shouldn't be talented. Like, it's better if you talented, but that execution is like, You know what I'm saying? That's
You gotta be able to make it translate. Like,
yeah, that's where you put the idea into motion.
Right. All right, that's dope. I think like there's a point in the creative process where it's like you can emphasize on the idea kind of too much, where you're like romanticizing it, and then executing it. That's when it comes in. So like I think it's smart that you put it second, because like the executing part is kind of like that's the technical aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like how is it going to translate to the listener? Like I can get this idea. The idea is kind of like the love of it. That's like the muse. That's like you left the door open for the idea to come in, but then you have to communicate that to people.
Right. So yeah, I think my idea of execution was a little bit different because when I think of the talent, that's when I think of like the technical stuff a little bit. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like when I think of talent, I'm thinking like if you was R&B singer, right, and you talented, you know how to hit them runs that be like, you know what I'm saying? Now, like somebody, you know, don't necessarily have to be talented and can execute a performance that still evokes that same emotion as that talented person who could hit all them runs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Would you say like a part of like the joy you get in doing music would be to invoke some sort of emotion?
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing for me is like because when I'm making music, I know I'm feeling something. And the greatest gift of being an artist for me is being able to share that with somebody else and them be able to like, I felt you, like, you know, I feel what you're saying. Even if it's not you feeling the words, it's like you feeling the vibe. Like maybe you don't even know what I'm saying, but that energy that I feel is translated to you, and you apply that to how whatever's going on in your life at the time, whether that's, you know, if it's a thought piece or if it's like some vibe shit and you having fun and it's like, yeah, you know, yeah.
That's what's up. So you kind of touched on like performance. So my idea, right? I think like the dopest performers have the ability to perform and let the audience feel like they were there when the idea came.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever think about when you're creating music, do you ever think about the performance of it? Do you like go steps ahead? Because like you're all over the place in the creative process, even visuals too. Like, do you think of visuals when you create something?
Yeah, like, yeah, I do. Yeah. You know, I'm a visual. That's how I operate for real, is visually. You know, like when I'm chopping up samples, like I'm looking at the wave, I'm looking at the transients and that type of thing. So like when I'm making music, I like to imagine myself like how I would be performing it. You know what I'm saying? I like to imagine how I'd be in front of a crowd of 10,000 people, because that's the goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the goal, is to be iconic, to be legendary, and to be the best version of myself, you know, at all times. So, and when I think of what that looks like, I think that look like me selling out arenas and sold out shows and stuff. So the music has to translate. The music has to feel good. That's why, like, you know, earlier today, you know, we started doing the one song, and I was like, it's cool, but it don't really translate like that, like for the thing that we trying to do right now. You know, so I'm saying that visual piece, that vision of, you know, creating a world when I'm making music videos, that's all a part of the process when I'm cooking.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. Would you say like you're into like manifestation, like visually seeing what you want to accomplish brings you closer to like the goals you want to get to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, energy
like,
say that.
Absolutely. Like, I'm big on that. Like, I'm big on, you feel me, believing and feeling what you want and speaking out loud too, and like taking up space, and, you know, not just keeping it all in your head, because we do that. We could do that a lot, like just be like, you know, thinking about I want to do this, thinking about I want to do this, but, you know, when you put certain action into play, like when you move a little bit, when when you put some motion behind your words and your thoughts, that's when you really start to feel it. And you know, when you feel it, it become more real. And I think, you know, it's a few occasions in my life where, you know, things didn't happen for me yet, but I felt like it did, and then ultimately things fell into place for me to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
fire. That's
yeah.
fire. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
So switching gears a little bit, I want to get into your background. So you come from a musical family.
Yeah.
I believe your mother played guitar, right?
Yeah, my mother plays guitar. She plays guitar.
Do you play any instruments?
Yeah, so I like to tell people my instrument is the drum machine and the computer. Like that's my main instrument. Like chopping up samples. I come from the school of like looking at like producers like Kanye, you know, the RZA, those type of dudes that take in samples and chopping them and flipping them. So that's my main instrument for real.
Yeah, I think we're in a space where music, like, you gotta recognize that format as an instrument.
Yeah.
You gotta recognize the chop sample, the beat machine, like.
Yeah, that's the foundation of hip hop, bruh. Like, you know, besides breakbeat, like breakbeats was first. Like them finding a section of the record that's just the drum.
Right.
Yeah. And just looping that and turning it into a sample, essentially. Right. And then having the MC spit over that. And then
it kind of was like not having the access to those traditional instruments. Like, we made a way. We made a whole genre out of just chopping up old shit.
And it's
ingenuity, right?
Ingenuity, and that's what we do. The innovativeness. That's just our people. We just so dope, bro. Like, you feel me? I be getting amazed every day. Like, I seen something this morning where his brother caught a shark with his bare hands and shit. Like, we just dope like that, and we take what's given to us and we 10 times it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We exponentially make shit grow and go crazy. Like, it's just us. We dope, man.
So tell me about like your earliest musical memory.
My earliest musical memory. Well, one of my earliest musical memories is like going to rehearsals with my mother. My mom played guitar for different artists. I remember going to rehearsals with her she was in Khalees's band back in like early 2000s. I probably like maybe like 5-6 years old when I was tagging along with her to rehearsals and just sitting in the corner. You know, one day they doing rehearsal, they made me get up on the mic and like freestyle, and like I was just mumbling and just not really even knowing words and stuff. But that's probably one of my earliest memories in music, and just being around and feeling the essence of live music. You know what I'm saying? Because music always been in my household. Like, my mom played music on the radio, my pops played music loud, and, you know, come from that type of family where our house was the spot, you know, and so everybody in the neighborhood coming to our crib and that type of thing. But that live music, when I got a whiff of that, when I'm like feeling the drummer, like when I'm feeling what that kick feel like in my chest, like from being right there, it's like that jump stuck with me for real.
All right, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. So it seemed like you grew up in a household that really let you express yourself.
Yeah.
There was really no like bounds or whatever, right?
For the most part, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he let me do whatever I wanted to, but for the most part, like, you know, I always had ideas and different creative stuff. Like, when I was like, you know, maybe like 5-6 years old, I really wanted to be a scientist. Like, I wanted to be like a scientist, an architect. Those were my main like dream like career as a little kid, you know, because I loved building Legos. And when it come to the science shit, I used to like go in the cabinet and get different things and mix them together and stuff like that. And everything I did, you know, for the most part, my parents encouraged me to do it. Like, yeah, try that. Just try it, you know?
That's fine. That's fine. That kind of leads into like the next thing. So I saw the video for Our Fathers.
Yeah.
Right? And if y'all haven't seen it, please go check it out. Fire video. you know, the 90s grainy camcorder footage mixed with the new footage. You know, you had the young Proda on the keys.
Yeah.
And you had your dad, he was in the ski mask. I thought that was fire shit. I ain't gonna hold you.
I had my pops in the shiesty, yeah.
I love that shit. I love that shit. And I really appreciate seeing like black fathers in that way.
Yeah,
You let like society tell it, they're just absent. And I personally know a lot more black fathers involved in their children's life than I don't. That could just be for me. So in going into that record and even the visuals for it, like, is that what you wanted to get off? Like, is that what you wanted to... Did you want to combat that narrative, or that wasn't even your head? Like, you just wanted to shout out your pops? Like,
I mean, at first it started out just as a shout out to my pops. But then as, as I was finishing the track, I was like, oh, damn, like, really ain't no... I can't think of no record that's, like, someone pays a homage to their father, like, a ode to their pops. Because, like you said, like, the common narrative is that, you know... absent fathers, and you feel me, niggas is not doing what they supposed to do, and you feel me, you know, F my pops and whoop-de-whoop and stuff like that. And which, you know, is the reality for some people, you feel me? And but that's not my reality. So you feel me? In my art, I just speak my truth, and you know, I speak what is real for me, and so that's a big part. Like, my pops is a huge inspiration to me. Like, I seen him do things that, you feel me, that I feel like only God could do. You know what I'm saying? I looked at my pops like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, when I heard the beat, in the name of the Father and the Son, oh, it just clicked instantly. And I was like, yeah, I gotta make up a song about my pops. Like, I gotta talk about him. And you know, I talk about like how you know, the neighborhood he from, I grew up in, like, you know, and then later on, after we moved away, we came back and brought it back, like, got cribs on the same block I grew up on, same block he grew up on, and now it's like, you feel me, that's something that's gonna be mine one day, you feel me, that's gonna be my kids one day. So, and I got an opportunity to, you know, add on to the stuff that he already, you know, put into place for me to do. So it's like, he stepping on. I feel like I got a sharp enough awareness to know, like, what he do, I gotta top that. You feel me? Cause it's not like, you know, we comfortable and like, you know, we got it all. You feel me? It's just he did what he had to do to make a new level. So I got to do that same thing to get to that next level. So then my kids could keep building on top of that.
That generational.
Yeah, because we only trying to go up. Like, we ain't trying to go backwards. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. What's up. All right. Moving forward. So I've heard you say before that, like, you went to YouTube University starting off.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And you were self-taught. I think that's the benefit of, like, the modern artists. Like, we have so much resources and tools that help us sharpen.
Yeah.
Right? But I also see that you went to NYU, too.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you, like, there's a lot you can do on YouTube University, but then there's things that you can't get from YouTube University. Do you think the NYU experience kind of helped you, like, plug up those holes?
Hell yeah, exactly. Especially because with YouTube University, you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times I was making music, I was by myself, like, just in my room, in my studio, like, just online and playing with shit and doing the thing with no, like, other feedback. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you could be doing some shit wrong that some other person, like, blind leading the blind, like, you on YouTube, this person say, oh, use this compressor, and then whoa, and that's not really the right way to go. But also, it's just like, you know, being at NYU put me around my peers, you know what I'm saying, and that, like, helps sharpen my sword, you know, because I'm seeing, like, oh, damn, this, you could do it like that, like, oh shit, let me try to incorporate that into what I do, and vice versa, like, you being able to give other people light and them to be able to be inspired by you or learn from you. That's like, that's mad dope. So,
Right.
so yeah, being at NYU definitely helped me be around my peers to learn more, and then also taught me why a lot of things work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because, when you experimenting by yourself, you could figure out how to do some shit. Like, I want to know how to turn it up. Let me turn it up. Use this to turn it up. But going on the back end and learning the technical stuff is like, that's turning it up because of this mechanism that's in there. So,
Right.
yeah.
So, like, you touched on it being around your peers,
Mhm.
and I think that's fire because I always told people, like, the most underrated aspect of college is, like, that's the last time you're going to be around everybody that's your age, everybody that you can identify with,
Yeah.
and there's, like, a strong power in, like, team.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And, like, teamwork and getting stuff done and having things all on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fire.
Yeah, the teamwork make the dream work, for real. You hear people say that all the time. Like,
I mean, you seen it here today, man.
Yeah.
Everybody came together.
Yeah.
You came and all the hands put together a dope ass performance.
yeah, man. Like, and y'all made this happen. Like, this couldn't just happen with just one person. Like, I mean, we got things now where you could just put your iPhone up and then do a little whoop-de-whoop, but you can't. I ain't gonna say you can't, but it's harder to do things by yourself. Like, so many times, like, you got 2 hands and 10 fingers. Like, you holding up everything with 2 hands, something bound to slip between the cracks. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why people say it take a village.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Word.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time. But
Alright.
before we leave, I do want to ask, what's next for you? Is there anything
Yeah.
planned? Like, what's going on?
Well, depending on when this come out, shit, I don't know. Say nah, but I'm always working on new stuff. So, like, right now, I'm in my producer bag a lot. Like, I'm composing and producing music for this play called Sinking Ink, which is gonna be opening up on May 7th, 2024.
Where's that at?
In Harlem at the Apollo Theater. Ooh. At the Apollo, legendary Apollo. Sinking Ink is gonna be it's live. It's a hip hop theater piece that follows a young kid named Gordon Morris, who is trying to find his voice to become the best MC and restore hip hop for the world.
That sounds dope, yo.
Yeah, it's fire. And
So that's another hat. You in the theater now.
Yeah, bro. Like, word.
You can't stop.
I just tapped in and, like, you know what I'm saying? This is my first time being anything involved with theater and music. Like, so I'm composing and producing all original music for the play, as well as DJing. So, like, I'm a character in the play too. I play the DJ and stuff
That's
like that.
fire,
So
man.
Yeah.
All right. I wish we had more time,
Yeah.
but please let our audience know where they can find you at.
Yeah, y'all can find me at Instagram, Praise Proda, designbyproda.com, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever. Feel me? All that shit. Christian Mingle, like, you feel me? I'm out here. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much, yo. We appreciate you coming through, taking some time out to chop it up with us. Can we get a little hand clap? Can we, Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all y'all. Appreciate you and your blessings, man.
Yo, thank you. Much love.
Nah, man.
All right.
That is a wrap, guys.
All right. Yes, sir.